Anger spilled onto the streets of Srinagar following Friday prayers nearly 2 weeks after India stripped the region of autonomy and imposed a communications blackout. Hundreds vented their pent-up frustration at being unable to move in their own home and shut off from the outside world.
Look at how many days we've been under curfew. If now Prime Minister Modi says everything is fine here, then he should lift the curfew.
The protests happened as Indian officials in the region announced plans to ease restrictions imposed, they said, to counter security threats.
Telecom connectivity, which has been a point of sore concern, will gradually be eased and restored in a phased manner, keeping in mind the constant threat posed by terrorist organizations in using mobile connectivity to organize terror actions.
It's an unverifiable, non-verifiable statement.
This journalist, who spent decades covering Kashmir, doubts the government's explanation.
So they can give whatever excuse they want to give or whatever rationalization they want to give, and people like you and I can be suspicious of it. We'll say it's incredulous, but how are we to know whether it's true or not?
Whatever the truth, exasperation is on display in Srinagar. The Indian government says some of its offices have already resumed operating in the region and schools will reopen on Monday. It also says it will gradually lift restrictions on communications. Kashmiris say they'll believe that when and if it happens. These Kashmiri students studying in New Delhi haven't been able to speak to their families back home for nearly 2 weeks. They're wary of Indian government promises to loosen restrictions.
They do loosen the conditions, they do let us talk to our family. We are hoping that, but till the time it's happening or it actually happens, we are waiting for that.
Our home is caged there, that's under siege. But here, the J&K people, especially the students, we are in a kind of mental siege.
While restrictions were relaxed for Friday prayers, which allowed for these protests, few in the Kashmir Valley seem aware of the plans to ease the lockdown. All they know is that right now, they can't move or live freely. Faiz, Jamil, Aljazeera, New Delhi.